But as much as he feels he needs to do that, the question still remains, how would General Christopher Musa retired seem to better protect Nigeria and ensure that he is? Well, with that in mind, I want to really welcome you to another
And I am Mercy Irabel. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, you know how excited I am. On Fridays, yeah, and it's always a special edition on Fridays. Yeah, it's a special edition on Viewpoint. So once again, welcome to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. And you know how we do it right here on Viewpoint? We'll start with the dailies, we'll go straight into the dialogue, and the news comes around. And of course, trending. You want to trend with us today on this special edition of Viewpoint. Of course, you can engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. We need to go on this quick break, and once we return, the dailies will be next.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Edi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Six papers is what we have. We have the Punch, the Vanguard, definitely the Guardian is here as much as the Nation, Daily Trust, and the Tribune. But let's see, Messi, you just please help us start with major one.
Let's see stories making it to the headlines of The Guardian this morning. On The Guardian this morning, the lead story, how stigma, poor treatment, funding hobble, HIV/AIDS rolled back. That's a very big story on page 4 and 5 of The Guardian newspaper. Still on The Guardian, MASSOB decries Igbo politicians silence on Kanu's ordeal. Yeah, you can get that story on page 29 of The Guardian newspaper. Insecurity, Defense Minister vows swift gains as NSA wants enemies. Labour talks tough. And that's a major one on page 6 of The Guardian newspaper. You behave more like political candidate than president. ADC tells Tinubu. That's a very loud one on page 7 of The Guardian newspaper. Still on The Guardian, Tinubu nominates Ibas, Sulu, Gambari, Bent, and Nag, 61 others as ambassadors. And that very story is on page 3 of The Guardian newspaper. Reps the FAR Constitutions review debate for wider consultation, and it's a major one on page 3 of The Guardian newspaper. Nasarawa to prosecute parents of out-of-school children. That's a big story on page 30 of The Guardian newspaper. Let's see if we take some more stories. I think that's all we've got. Let's see the picture of the day. The picture of the day is talking about the Motina light-up ceremony held at Liberty Stadium Junction, Ibadan, Oyo State, yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on The Guardian newspaper.
Well, the Punch will be the next paper for us to quickly look at. And on the Punch this morning, the leading story reads, Tinubu 65 envoy picks brace for Senate stump. We're talking about big diplomatic overhaul as ex-Rivers administrator, 30 politicians, other make lists, senators screen list in 1 week. But anyway, I'll tell you to just get more of that story up on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. Let's see if we take some other leading ones. Newly sworn in defense minister declare wars on kidnappers. And page 8 has that story, but remember, we're critically looking at it again on Dialogue as we x-ray on what, or rather, give more of an insight on what he intends to do to keep Nigerians safe. Nigeria must protect democracy as Sahel faces coups. And this is according to the NSA rebuttal on page 41. PTAD monthly payout to retirees soared to about ₦1 trillion. And we're talking about a major one as it concerns the pension fund. But please get more of that story up on page 29 of the Punch newspaper. Senate orders nationwide crackdown on lead poisoning as it hits Lagos. A sad reality also on page 8. Vehicle inspection office heads to Supreme Court after losing vehicle in impoundment appeal. And you can get more of that appealing story on page 41. Federal government said December 20 deadline to pay contractors. And I can hear some contractors already saying hallelujah. Well, anyway, you can get more of that story up on page 29. It looks as if Christmas is coming soon for them. But the picture of the day is that of the CG of the immigration visit to Kebbi. After that very deadly and unfortunate attack, vows justice after checkpoint attack. And you can still get more of that story up on page 41. Well, that's much you can take from the Punch.
Let's check out the stories making it to the headlines of the Nigerian Tribune. On the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the lead story, Rabadu Musa Kuka upbeat about end to terrorism. We have some riders, terrorism, banditry to end soon. This is coming from the NSA. Nigerians can now sleep with eyes closed. This is coming from the new defense officer, Musa, and defense portfolio now in very good hands. This is coming from Kuka, and it's a big story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Still on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, Atiku fought Tinubu's nomination of former INEC chair for ambassadorial position, and you can get that very story on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. Exodus of oil workers looms, Pegasan warns. This is on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Appeal court bars VIOs from impounding vehicles and imposing fines. You can get that very story on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. Still on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, patient alleges organ harvesting in hospital. Ekiti government begins probe. Ex-NMA President Faduyile heads committee. And you can get that very story on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. A suspected gunman kidnapped APC chieftain Oriade in Ibadan. APC leadership, other stakeholders express concern. This disturbing story is on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's see if we take some more stories. Inside, list of overtime cargo for condemnation domiciled at Apapa TCIP and PTML area command, and that's right at the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Tinubu names Ibas Dambazau Sulu Gambari Enag as ambassador, increases nominees to 68. 6 Senate's confirmation. That's a major story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's see what we have as the picture of the day. New Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, taking the oath of office before President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja on Thursday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nigerian Tribune.
Well, the Daily Trust is the next paper for us to quickly look at as we x-ray and see what seems to be happening on the major ones. And on the Daily Trust this morning, ADC Obi fled Tinubu over early campaign is a major screamer on the front page of the Daily Trust. But I trust you can get more of that story up on page 3, 4, and 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Let's see if we take some other major leading stories still with the Daily Trust this morning. And another major one, President asked Senate to confirm Ibas Dambazo 62 orders as ambassador. It's on page 12. Again, court restrains VIO for impounding vehicles, imposing fines. It's another screamer on page 7. Nigeria imports 12.8 trillion naira worth of petrol in 15 months. Woo, a large number. But I'll just tell you to read up that story up on page 28. Challenges before new defense minister is also a screamer on page 6 of the Daily Trust. The picture of the day is that of the visit of the immigration officer to Kebbi State immediately after that very unfortunate incident, an attack by unidentified gunmen. And our heart still goes out to the family of those that were killed during that very sad attack. But anyway, that's much we can take from the Daily Trust.
Let's see what the nation has for us this beautiful Friday morning. On the nation this morning, the lead story, economic climate now right, say Edu, Dangote Uzodima, Boris Johnson. Okay, that's the lead story on the nation, and you can read that very story on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Still on the nation, arming communities dangerous, Coca ones, Ribadu, we will defeat terror. And that's on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Still on the nation, PSC kickstarts recruitment of 50,000 policemen. And that story is on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Repayment of 185 billion naira gas legacy debt begins on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. Appeal court sees order barring VIO from stopping impounding vehicles on highway. And it's a major story on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Judge turns down request for Kano's relocation from Sokoto prison. And you can read that story on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Still on the Nation, arming communities dangerous, Kuka ones, Ribadu, we will defeat terror. Okay, that's on page 2. President nominates Ibas, Enag, Chioma Ohake, Dambazu as ambassadors, and you can read that very story up on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Let's see what we have as the picture of the day. Yeah, the picture of the day this morning, that's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Toga, after presenting the Business Day Excellence in Public Service Awards to Niger Delta Development Commission, the NDDC Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, during the 2025 Business Day Public Service Lecture and Excellence Awards that took place in Abuja. We can see other dignitaries present. Well, that's all we'll be taking this morning on the Nation newspaper.
Well, the Vanguard will be the last paper for us to quickly look out, and a screamer right there. We'll defeat terror, restore order, peace. This is according to the Defense Minister and the National Security Advisor. Well, right has to follow. Terrorists need to be flushed out, Kuka tells Minister. Kwara monarchs still with bandits, says community. And 5 adopted river students regain freedom. But you can free or get more of that story up on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Let's see if we take some other leading ones. Bank insurance contribute to economic falls 15% to 1.51 trillion naira. It's also on the economic part of the paper, but read up on page 20. Let's see if we take some other major leading story. Appeal Court affirms judgment barring VIO from seizing vehicles, imposing fines. Is a screamer on page 7. President nominates Ibaz, Bandizo, 63 others as ambassador. Also a major one on page 8. At Imo Economic Summit, Indigbo, most significant stakeholders in Nigerian project. And this is according to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself. Uzodima opens state to multi-sectoral investors and investment. But you can invest more of your time on that very story on page 11. Well, and the picture of the day is more of a beverage company and lighting up a Christmas tree ceremony. And this was held in Lagos. Oh, looks as if Christmas is coming really, really soon. But anyway, that's the much we can take from the Vanguard and the picture of the day and all that we need to bear as it concerns the dailies this morning. You always know I will always implore you, if you find any of the stories really enjoyable and you feel you need to read, well, just go grab a copy of any of the papers and do yourself the favor of reading it up and getting more information real time as it comes. But anyway, it's still Viewpoints on Atlantic TV. I know you're having a great time, but you do know that will trend later at around 10:30, and the news will come around 10. But also, you do know what's coming up next is dialogue. And like I told you initially, we'll be talking, or rather setting the agenda for the new defense minister as he zooms office. I had a whole lot to talk about yesterday, and indeed, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given him the charge to ensure that Nigerians are safe and the country remains stable. But let's go on a break. Dialogue will be next right here on Viewpoint.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Alright, my name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh Baby.
CME Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, retired as the new Minister of Defense. If you recall that the former occupant of the position, Mohammed Badaru, had on Monday this week resigned as the Minister of Defense. President Tinubu, immediately after accepting the resignation, nominated and also sent the name of General Musa, retired, to the National Assembly for clearance and confirmation. He appeared before the Senate just this week, Wednesday, and after being drilled by the Senate on security matter, he was cleared and finally confirmed. President Tinubu, at the brief but solemn ceremony, charged the new minister to bring his extensive operational experience, strategic in-depth and institutional knowledge of the armed forces to bear in strengthening Nigeria's defense architecture. Mr. President emphasized that Defense Ministry under Musa leadership must prioritize synergy among the service, accelerate reforms, and also sustain momentum in ongoing joint operation. He also stressed the importance of procurement transparency, improved welfare for personnel, and in-depth discussion between interagency cooperation. Shortly after the induction, the senior government officials, including the National Security Advisor, service chiefs, and members of the Federal Executive Council, all congratulated the new defense minister, expressing confidence that his appointment signals a new chapter in Nigerian security management. But the big question is, will his appointment truly change the narrative? Are we going to see not even a reduction but a total end to the murderous bandits? Well, these and more, as it concerns the coming of the new defense minister, is what this edition of Dialogue is centered on. And that is the coming of a new minister of defense and indeed Nigerians' expectation. That is what we're having as a major discourse today on Dialogue. We're talking about the coming of the new defense minister and what Nigerians are truly expecting to get from him. But anyway, to help us really talk about this, we have no other person but Comrade Kevin Ojomodu. You know, he's a senior special assistant to His Excellency, Governor Sheriff Oboriwori, as it concerns human rights issues. Well, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ray. Good morning, viewers, and thanks for having me.
Well, General Musa retired until now, he served as the 18th Chief of Defense Staff and, widely regarded as one of the most experienced officers of his generation, to say the least, having commanded major operation, joint operation, especially in the Northeast and Northwest. So he does not come in any small measure. But my first question is, would he come in really bring a breath of fresh air? Especially as it concerns the stage we are in at the moment. We're talking about the heightened insecurity that is bedeviling the country, most especially the Northeast, North Central, and the Northwest. Or do you have strong reservation about his coming, knowing that he was formerly there, and now again he is here?
Yes, first I would like to congratulate General Musa, retired, who's now the defense minister. You see, he has shown capacity.
Okay.
While he was a CDS.
Okay.
And he gave a very strong affirmation and boost the morale of the officers at the front line when he said, do not wait for them to take you, take them. He said there's only one thing you do to terrorists. You take them before they take you. And if he went further to say, do not wait for orders.
Yeah.
You know when to use the firearms, according to the Armed Forces Act, know when to use the firearms and know when to protect yourself. He said if your troop is under attack, you use your firearm. If your colleague is under attack and there's no possible means for him to escape, use your firearm. And he gave up those charges, and before we know, the next 3 weeks, he was removed from office. And now, in a twist, he has been brought in as the defense minister. You see, he alone cannot do the job. The president first is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
Most certainly.
The orders and decision-making falls on his table. He gives a shot. So the president first must be honest with the fight against insecurity.
Okay.
Is the president ready?
I know we'll talk about the political will later, but I'll still remain with my initial question, because that's what Nigerians are asking, because I'm now forced to ask. He was there as a CDS, and under his watch, we still had heightened insecurity. We had more kidnappings, killings.
Not as worse as when he left the office.
So my question is, this is just more of a change of role. So what new thing would he be bringing, and what makes us feel that this will be better than when he was the CDS?
I think now he now belongs to the political class.
Well, now he belongs to the political class. Which many will say is a difficult terrain to walk through, unlike the military.
It is, but I think the headway he has now is the president knowing fully well this man, General Musa retired, has the capacity to deliver. I think on that basis, he will give him a more listening ear and free hand to operate. Okay. Because what we want to see is giving General Musa the free hand to do what he needs to do. And you see, with his wealth of experience, as a military personnel, he knows where to go. You saw what he said yesterday.
So are you saying he was handicapped when he was the CDS?
You know, there are forces, like we always use the word, the cabals. They were not allowing him to operate the way he should operate. But I think with the heightened insecurity and with the interference of the external opponent, the Americans, I think we will give him the full capacity now to work. Because I think him being brought back was for a purpose. Nigerians actually love him. We all rally around him. While he was removed, everybody was concerned because there was no issues for you to remove him. But now the removing and all of that is back as defense minister. Let's get to work. And in the coming days, you know, let's not be quick to say wuru when we've not seen the end of the tunnel as it has to be. But I would say this is a breath of fresh air going forward, and I think with his weight of experience, something good will come out of Nazareth. Well,
talking about his weight of experience, because he had a whole lot to talk about yesterday.
Yes.
And I really would want us to go there. Now, what he said yesterday, he said he would ensure that the president's vision for a safe and more stable Nigeria is being met. And he said he would ensure tirelessly that operational efficiency, modernized defense capacity, and strengthen partnership with regional and international allies will be his bedrock of achieving this. Now, he stated all of this, and I have to read it according to how he said it. Now, do you really see all he has said? Strengthen partnership with regional and international allies, enhance operational efficiency, modernize defense capacity, and stable Nigeria. That's working tirelessly to ensure that this is done. So do you see all of this he has said as bedrock in us really achieving the goal as it concerns dealing with the insecurity?
Yes, and one of the highlights of what he also said, I think in an extra to that, was when he said, shoot the bandit at target. Okay. He also went further to say no more negotiations with bandit. Okay. And I think that is the best way to go. You don't negotiate with terrorists, because the more you fund them, they buy ammunition. They get more equipped. They recruit more persons to join their cause. But the more you take them all out, then they are lesser. You dislodge the artillery, you dislodge their infantry, you dislodge their financiers, and that's the better way to go. So in the collaboration with foreign counterparts, that is the better one to go, because I see President Trump in the coming days said he's going to freeze the account of religious financiers, those that are pushing for this genocide in Nigeria. They're going to freeze the account, and their properties abroad will be confiscated. That also is a welcome development, it's a wake-up call. Because if you take back their funding, then they get stranded. Just like at the Biafran where they said, okay, don't give them food. Take salt away. Don't give them food. And you see people surrendering. Because now they have money. They have money to buy ammunition. They have food stuff to feed their terrorists in our forest. But when all of that is dislodged, then you see some of them won't come out and surrender. Out of hunger, they will surrender. Out of being able to buy ammunition, they will surrender. So in all of this, I have stated, but my one is matching the talk with work. That's always been my slogan. If you can match the talk with work, then we'll get ahead. Because he also promised that he's going to ensure that the love Nigeria has bestowed on him is going to make Nigeria safe for everybody to travel around and be able to appreciate the effort of armed forces. And you talk about synergy. Because you see that synergy is very, very paramount at this time. The Air Force, the Navy, the police, the civil defense, the DSS, all sister agencies must come together. Even we also the masses. We also have roles to play as patriotic Nigerians. Because you see something, say something and do something. Don't you see the strange face entering your neighborhood carrying children in a vehicle, you don't raise alarm, you just feel maybe they're doing their thing. No. You must be concerned about your environment. You must be concerned about your village. You must be concerned about your state and the country at large. With doing that also, we also as citizens, we have a role to play for us to get it right, because it's not going to be for only the armed forces. When you see something, and do something, there's something good. What he also said was that he was bothered about how Brigadier General Uba was murdered, that where were his troops? Because a general doesn't move alone. He moves the troops, then where were the troops? What really happened? That is going to ensure that such a repeat itself again, which is a wake-up call. Because you don't just say lack of a Brigadier General and nothing happens. We must take the word to these bandits and terrorists for them to know that the Nigerian government is stronger than any entity anywhere that wants to dislodge the unity of this country.
Now, you talked about government, and I feel that's where my next question will be, because in all honesty, with what you said now, it looks as if we do not lack the capacity, or we do not lack men having that knowledge, experienced knowledge of what to do. That seems not to be our biggest problem. We seem to always have officers and men that tend to do what they need to do to ensure that we are better safe. But my next question, many persons are of the school of thought that our problem might be the persons, but rather the political will to deal with this problem. That's where the problem lies. Now, I have two questions. Number one, do you feel the political will is why we are at the moment? Because the former Minister of Defense was more of a politician than an expert as it concerns security. Yes. That's number one. Do we lack the political will to deal with this? And with the recent attitude of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is it tinted towards the way of having now the political will to deal with this issue? Because that's where my question lies. Do you see him now facing that direction of dealing with the political, or rather dealing with insecurity? Do you feel Mr. President is now really interested in having that political will to end all of this?
Thank you very much. Your first question, the president does not have the political will to combat terrorism in Nigeria.
So was political will lacking?
It was lacking. He's playing religious and ethnic sentiment with the issue of insecurity. They were pervasive. They were all concerned about the next election, leaving behind lives and properties of Nigerians that was taken for granted by these terrorists. Now, just a tweet from a U.S. president has brought about the president sitting up. So that's to tell you that, okay, for 2 years plus you've been in power, you've not made it a matter of huge concern. You reshuffle the services and all of that, we still not get the results. So there is a lacuna somewhere. There are issues somewhere that we've not been able to break even. What are those issues? There are issues of religious sentiment, ethnic affiliations, political affiliations. So until we break that circle, this discourse, we cannot get to the next level of conversation.
But have we broken it?
We've not broken it yet. Nigeria at that time want to see results. Telling us that you cross boundary, he has told us he will cross boundary more than 200 times since he became president. That he will cross the
But with the direction of removal, undermining towards resignation of the former defense minister, but feelers in the air was more like telling him, well, I feel it's now time to throw in the towel.
He made a post that very sarcastic.
Yeah, I do understand that they cannot bomb terrorists in the forest. Yeah. Now, so do you see the direction Mr. President now taking, getting General Musa on board, making some effective change, having that interaction with our international partners? Do you see all of that now tilted towards the way of, yes, it is now time to deal with these and we need to get results?
It's not yet time. It's not Uhuru yet. One, how much do you pay our soldiers? You see, you must look at issues from their primary constituents
source, yeah,
before you scale them to the secondary and tertiary.
But he has charged the minister to do so.
No, he has charged the minister to do so. What happened probably before now? How much do you pay our troops? Our troops get stranded. Do we have a quick response? When a troop and a battalion is ambushed, we must get a swift response. That's what we need, spontaneous response. If troop, let's say for example, Lafayette is ambushed, the next second you will see Operation Python dance taking over that environment to ensure there's no breakdown. But when you leave your troops for months, running even a year or two, they get fatigued. A man should know when to be in the battlefield and when to leave and meet his family. To re-energize himself. Say, okay, you are going for 6 months. In the next 6 months, you guys are coming, the other team are already ready to go. So you mix experiences and you get results. But now, with all of this is doing, let's be hopeful.
Okay.
But I do not see any proper change being done. Go back, how much does the life of a Nigerian army cost? When a man knows that his life is worth the entire country to be a standstill, he will go all out. I keep saying it. The US police, you see them running after criminals, not because they know that even if they die in that process, their family will suffer. But soldiers today, why even shooting somebody? I'm thinking of their children. Man, I have 4 kids. If I go down now, how are they going to cope? How will my wife get my remuneration? Are they going to attend to her swiftly? So this whole thing keeps running through their minds, even while on battlefield. At some point, you call them, let their wife talk to them, even while they're on battlefield. My husband, we're proud of you. Keep going. Set the morale high. It's a booster. How much do you pay a captain in the Nigerian army, a sergeant in the Nigerian army? How much do you pay them? Look at our barracks, for example. Do they eat well? Are they well fed? The other day we saw on the internet when an American army was showing their ration that they gave them why they were in the war front. If you see the ration like you want to be an army. I saw burger, I saw fresh juice, I saw a lot of good meal.
Kevin Ojomodo, please, it's still in the morning. We will not go hungry on the account of expressing what they will be giving.
No. I'm not giving you an insight.
I seem to understand.
Because when a man is well fed, handling ammunition, like it takes stamina and energy. If you have ever shot a rifle before, it puts you forward. You know how strong that gun is. So you must be well fed to lock it between your arms and continue play. And sometimes even the face get hot. And this gun they seize. How well do we have people that service our ammunitions regularly? Why sometimes they ambush? How can you ambush an entire troop? What happened to the air intelligence? So there must be sister synergy. The air intelligence must give me a clearer understanding. DSS will also say, okay, it's clear, let's go. Because I keep wondering, at least our Nigerian army that went to Sierra Leone, Liberia to bring democracy, that they were ranked the #1 in Africa foot soldiers. That today small terrorists will be terrorizing our country, our state, and we keep smiling with it. Calling them for negotiation, calling them for peace. They come with guns. They even killed an ACP, an area commander, and the bandits wore the uniform of the late Assistant Commissioner of Police to the meeting to negotiate with politicians. And nobody saw that as a slight on national security. It's an operation. You see, you don't know how painful those people are in the north. It happens to you. The trauma they go through when people are displaced in the IDP camp. Now go to the IDP camp. How well are they catered for? And this is where these people go back to recruit these young boys. When you are in the IDP camp, you are just like you are idle. Bandits come and say, okay, we'll give you, let's say, 500,000 naira a month. Come and join us. And they recruit them immediately and go and join them. So government must begin to do the welfare of citizens in high esteem. The military personnel, the police officers, their barracks, go and refurbish their barracks. Let them have to fast life to think well. A man that thinks well and rests well can fight well. You don't just take a man to the battlefield when he's not well fed and his family problem is on his head. It's not morally stable to handle ammunition.
Okay, well, anyways, I can understand you really venting it out, and everybody do understand why Nigerians seems not to be happy about what seems to be happening. But anyway, all our discourse, in case you're joining us now, is centered on the recent swearing in of the new defense minister. I'm talking of no other person but Christopher Musa, retired. You do know all of that played out just yesterday when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a very short meeting, had him being sworn in as the new defense minister after the resignation of the former, and we're talking about the former Jigawa two-time governor, and we do know him as Mohammed Baduru. But anyway, we're still right here talking about setting the agenda for the incoming or the new defense minister and what Nigerians' expectations are, especially as it concerns the murderous and marauding bandits that seems to be hitting the northwest, northeast, north central, and funny enough, coming in down south to Kogi Kwara, we're having heightened information and intelligence that they seem to be in that very forest. But let's leave the national scene and come home to Delta State, primary constituent. I could still remember October 15th when His Excellency, the governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Obodiwori, put in that Delta State Security Trust Fund. And after that very trust fund, we've not heard much about security as it concerns Delta State. So, knowing you are also a part of the government, I want you to bring us up to speed of where we are as it concerns security in Delta State, especially after the trust fund, the security trust fund.
Yes, you agree with me that Delta State is one of the most safe states as far as Nigeria is concerned at the moment. Though we have one or two hiccups there and there, but we're still breaking even in that regard. Yes, after the trust fund, the Excellency will sit with experts and bring out a plan, and they are on that. While some other work are still going underground, they are also thinking of putting a camera, a CCTV camera in all our busy areas of the state. There'll be cameras in all our busy areas of the state. We also have a control room that we don't like we have in the state capital in Asaba. All divisions, all area commands are connected to the Commissioner of Police office. So even the highway patrol, so whatever that's happening, the CP is aware of it. So they want to also do the same within these other areas. We'll link all divisions together, all area commands together within the state, every corner of the state to link to Asaba. So if there's breakdown of law and order in point A, there's a swift response immediately from the command or the nearest division or the nearest area command. So works are on ground. You know, security is not something you just come out and tell people the next line of action you want to do. But I'm just giving you a few clue. They want to put a camera, CCTV camera on most busy areas within the state. And you agree with me, even in this youth season now, we've not had issues of kidnap like we used to have.
But I would beg to differ a bit, especially as it concerns kidnap, because we are the media and we always get redate information. Because one of the redate information we had just within the week, 2 farmers were kidnapped in Emuhu, close to Akbo, where one of the farmers were killed and the other was rescued. So it really beats us to know where we are at the moment as it concerns our security in the state. So my question, yes, you said this is where it is now. But is there a quick and immediate response? Because we do know all those gadgets we're talking about will definitely take time to come. But let's understand, especially knowing that we are now in December, and everybody do understand that December seems to have one of the highest rates of criminal activities anywhere in the country. Yes. So let's understand where we are at the moment before we look at the long-term plan of the Delta State government. Yeah, you know, in this youth season now, there's been deployment of tactical teams. If you drive from here to now to Asaba, you drive from Osaple from Efru to Saple, you see a lot of tactical teams. They are on our roads to ensure the safety of life and properties. Now, like I said, we've been able to secure the state, but you know, criminals are they're not resting. Yes. The minute you are planning how to get at them, they still way also to want to take themselves out of it. Yeah, we've had one kidnapping, also someone around Ugele as well too. Okay. And the other one that we lost the farmer type, one of them. Yeah, the farmer. And luckily, the anti-kidnapping team of Delta State Police Command has also apprehended the kidnappers who executed that same farmer type. And the AK-47 they use in that have also been recovered. Now, those are great issues. But of what you have concerned now is development of tactical team. Hence, the Commissioner of Police Delta State has also put a ban on fireworks. Okay. So in this youth we don't want to see whereby you say it's gone, and some will say it's fireworks. So that's why they put a ban on it now. You shouldn't have fireworks with you. You shouldn't even sell it in your shop. So that we'll be able to know when criminals are shooting and when you're using fireworks, and put normalcy and safety of people and properties and life in this youth season. So I think going forward, before the end of this youth season, or at most the first quarter of January, the security trust fund plan will be rolled out. Okay. Well, anyway, as much as you've given all of that quick highlight on where the Delta State government is as it concerns security in the state, I will also want to draw your attention into another major one. And for decades now, one of the benefits the state has been using as a form of security is the issue of vigilantes. We call, yes, and we call it a little paramilitary, but vigilante, as we call them in Delta State. For more than a decade now, they've been helping to complement and also deal with the issue of insecurity. Well, they've been constantly used, and some of them are constantly used. Because that's where I'm going now, because we still do know. A recent report to Reaching Dialogue also stated about 4 persons were killed in Lume, in Saple community. And on account of vigilantes going haywire. But let's look. Now, how much of synergy and understanding does the state have with some of these bodies in helping to handle insecurity within this period? And how really robust is that security architecture, especially as it concerns civil relationship? Because we know it was a breakdown of civil relationship that culminated to the death of those 4 persons in Sapele just within a week.
You know, it's a directive from the Nigerian Police Force that no vigilante is allowed to go on patrol or even on roadblocks without a senior police officer being attached to that formation.
Okay.
And I know on several occasions they've been arrested. The Commissioner of Police have arrested some of them, I'm aware of. In Omia, they've arrested some that they took to the command. Some of them, they even remanded some of them to prison because they do not have the requisite knowledge to go on all out on their own to mount a roadblock. Rather, they must be in the company of senior police officers that will supervise their conduct. The one that happened in that hotel in Elume,
in Sapele.
They said the persons, the late deceased, Kelvin by name, they came to lodge there with his friends. That after some time they took the light, so they came down to rest. In the within them, and the vigilante said they should go back to their room. Say, well, I also take breeze. Say, go back to your room. And before they know it, they had any argument, and they shot at the boy. And when they took the boy to the hospital, the boy died on the spot. So the first hearing that the boy had died, he ran back to the hotel and said, no, you bring out that boy that shot our friend. And he started having an argument. The vigilante also called for backup. The other of the members came. They killed other 3 persons there at that same point, which led to them burning some part of the hotel. And that's simply their reaction. But the area commander is Basil, area commander Sapele, is on top of the matter. The vigilante has been apprehended, and the gun that used in the act, they are moving them to Asaba for proper on-the-room trial. Now, this whole issue has happened because the police sometimes they are docile in engaging these vigilantes. Now, it is a directive. No vigilante group have the right to be on the road without a police officer. If they are going for a patrol, you must have 2-3 police officers that must be there, which are the head and the coordinators of that patrol. But at some point in time, you see that they want to swing their way because they have illegal things they want to go and do, and they run away from the police. Even their guns they use, you submit the gun at the police station when you are done at night, and in the morning you come again and sign the gun and collect it. And
that's the normal procedure. That's
normal procedure. So I even wonder why an hotel will have a vigilante as a security in the hotel, whereby it's not attached to any division.
And still bear firearms.
And still bear firearms. Because what they do is, when you are resuming in the morning, you go to the division close to you, take the firearm, you write in the arms diary, the arms register. I've collected it by 8 a.m. You bring it back by 5 p.m. You bring it back by 5 p.m. or 6 or the next morning you drop it back there. That is the normal routine. But most times, some of these the divisional police officers, they are lackadaisical in monitoring these issues that are before them. They show less concern. And when these boys know that you're showing less concern, they leverage on that the docile nature of the DPOs to act within their region. Some of them even mountain roadblocks, checking papers. They don't have right to check papers, except they are with the police. And when they do, they bring to the police, the police will not check. Because they are not trained for that.
But we see them on some major highways.
Yes, but they must be in company of, like me, if I see them with that police, I just call someone and tell them, where are you working under? Why are there no policemen here? You have the right to be here. Even in Nugel, I've challenged them several times. I will not see the police officer, some of them will sit in the car. And I say, okay, there's a police officer watching them. Because, you know, a lot of them are just, they are not well trained. You just them say, okay, come and work as security, give them firearms. They are not well trained. They don't know when to use the firearms. And some of them are high on drugs. And some that are high on drugs, you give the person ammunition to go and work. They get triggered easily. And some of them use this, their job, to pay back rift they have with people. Maybe so somebody took their girlfriend, it's like 2-3 years ago, now they're vigilante. They see the person coming, they want to pay the person back. And that's they'll shoot. So it's a wake-up call. We have to for me, I think they have to take all their guns and take all of them back for training. Like now we have the forest guard by the president, which they are going for good training. When you see them, they are well respected, they behave very well, and they have good courtesy.
Okay. Well, anyway, in case you're joining us, well, it's still dialogue, and this lovely edition, we're talking about security. Well, looking at how it is, not just only the national discourse, but also looking at the state and where we need to be as a people, especially knowing that when the festive period, and within this period, is always heightened insecurity, that seems to be. But anyway, still right here with us, having that discourse with us. We're talking of no other person but the senior special assistant to His Excellency, Governor Sheriff Oboriwori on human rights issues. Now, talking about human rights issues, I just want this to come out because we all saw it in the dailies, Punch newspaper, Vanguard and major dailies, and is the issue that I know you're also handling and the office of the governor is also handling. is the issue of the molestation of a 3-year-old Delta child by the mother sexually. Where are we now with that very case?
You just took me back to,
I felt it's an opportunity, and you only get it fresh and new right here on Atlantic TV, Viewpoint, and that.
It's traumatic, it's pathetic. One will be scared of a mother-daughter relationship. Why people are seeing fathers molesting their daughters. Now we're not seeing mothers also molesting our own daughter. It was an awful sight. A gory video, that the mother using sex toy to molest her own daughter, to the point that the 3-year-old girl has contracted STD.
Wow.
And she's undergoing treatment. Now, let me bring you up to speed. The issue was taken to the court, and she was granted bail. We were not satisfied with that. We took the matter to the Attorney General of the state, and they've collected the case file. The Attorney General will have to re-hear the matter and take a stand on it. So I think in the coming days, we'll be seeing the DPP giving their advice, Matter of Public Constitution, on where to go. If she has a case to answer, then she come and answer her case. If she doesn't have a case to answer, then we know where we'll go.
But is it not funny that she, as we speak, is still with the daughter?
No, she's not with the daughter.
Okay.
We took the daughter from her, and the police handed the daughter over to an orphanage home.
Wow.
Yeah, so we could get her recuperated, because the little girl, she always put her hands in her vagina.
Wow.
The mother has traumatized her to that point that if she's sitting here, she just put her hand in her vagina.
That's sad to say.
So we need to, recuperate her back. We'll take her to the orphanage, to keep her on close supervision, so she can get those things off her head, and they correct her. And when she does, they say, no, don't do this, it's wrong, and this is the way to go. So when we...
So my question, is it that the mother was high on something, or... Let's really understand the mental state of the woman. Is she mentally okay?
Well, in a confessional statement she made to the police, she said she doesn't know what came over her, but she's sorry that she will be a better mother, and she even agreed that she take the child away from her until she becomes a better mother. But I don't see her getting that child back, because she was not even remorseful. Even in a confessional statement, there was no remorse, there was no breakdown of emotions, there was no, fears, anything. She was just talking, So I think there's more to it. I do not know, but she admitted also on confessional statement to the police that she's into lesbianism, and I was wondering why you now have to practice that with also your own daughter, like just 3 years old. And she said she had been doing it when the child was 1 year and 8 months.
Well, that's hard to hear. But anyway, let's leave that sad tale, knowing that your office is now handling the issue, and now return back to national security, because that's where we started our discourse today. Yes. And in returning now back to national security and discourse, yes, the new CDS has promised us of an onslaught on the bandits and terrorists disturbing our peace. But there's this also sign of discourse that feels we do not need only military might to deal with this, that dialogue needs to come on board, just like what happened in the Niger Delta when we had militancy ripe in this region. It was not military force that ended it, but dialogue came into being. Do you see dialogue also as a means, not kinetic means of dealing with this, or do you feel an all-out war has been declared by the new defense minister is the way to go to deal with these marketing bandits?
I do not see dialogue taking the center stage. No. They have eaten more than they can chew. Hence, they have called for it. They called for war. When you kidnap our mothers, you rape them, you take people's land, you maim, you kill, you are now becoming, you've made yourself a national threat to the country. So they have to declare terrorists. And what do you do to terrorists? You take them out. So dialogue will not come at this point, because even you see the ones even going, the only way dialogue can come in is when they lay down their arms. If they come in their multitude and say, okay, we are tired of this banditry we are doing, we're tired of being terrorists, you lay down your arms. Maybe through the Office of National Security Advisor to the President. Good. That's okay. These ones that have laid down their arms and said, okay, they don't want to do this anymore. Let's integrate them back into society and make them better persons. But so long as you keep maiming the society, you keep coming for our people, you keep making people's life miserable, you keep making the government look like they don't even know what they are doing, then you know, like President Putin said, terrorists are people, you take them out. Like even President Trump, you don't discuss with them. For someone to unleash terror on humanity, you know what they believe. They have come all out to say, okay, we do not want anybody to have peace. You can't force people to accept your religion. If you have a problem with the government, go to the government and engage them. When they compare the issue of the what's happening in North and there are two different issues. The militants went to the government facilities, they blew up some of the facilities and they said, okay, we want to discuss. And when time for discussion, they discussed and everybody laid down their arms. But these guys, even if people discuss with let's say, a set today in Castina, the ones in Borno will tell you that they are not part of that discourse. They'll go all out and do theirs. The ones in Yobe Bauchi will tell you they are not part of that. You know, they have different groups. Remember, we have the ISIS, we have the Boko Haram. Yeah. We saw two of them even fighting at the Chad Basin the other day. Yeah. So they are even fighting for supremacy within Nigeria and the African soil. So that tells you that they have a larger spectrum of operations, which we must take them and bring them to standstill. Either they surrender or they leave Nigeria for us.
Okay. Now, General Musa also spoke about our porous border, especially when he was having that interaction with the Red Chambers, the Senate, and he talked extensively on our porous border and how that had really hampered our security, with especially the quick movement of light arms coming into the country, which in our latest statistics is quite alarming, to say the least. Now, let's look at the issue of our porous borders, and especially knowing that some of our immediate neighbors are not in good terms with us. And one country, to be precise, is Niger, which is now under a military dictatorship. Now, how do we really handle that? Because that's a sticking problem. Knowing also that in our papers today, you saw the Controller General of Immigration going to Kebbi when during the border, some of his officers were killed recently. So let's talk about the issue of border. Are we really certain of getting peace in Nigeria when our borders are still porous? Because he said some of them, you attack them, they get all the way into Niger, and you do not have that quick synergy with our regional partners. So can we really have any meaningful gain without our borders being secured?
You just like you build a house, very beautiful house, you have good interiors and all of that, and you don't have a protector. That is what the Nigerian state is at the moment. You have a very luxury building, you have cars, fleet of cars in the compound, and your gate is open. What does that tell you? Any intruder will come in at any time and steal from you and go scot-free. Because why? Your gate is open. So when your borders are porous, what are you telling people? You can come in here and trade business of banditry and go scot-free. We have over 150 porous borders within the country. You just stroll into Cameroon, you stroll into Nigeria back, you stroll into Chad, you stroll into Nigeria back, you stroll into Niger Republic, you stroll into Nigeria back. And in all of these frontiers, our president has concern over the years. Because if you don't secure the borders, then you can't secure the country. You say U.S. laws to the Mexicans from coming in. They have their reasons. Because if you allow that place to be open, the drug barons will have a free day in American soil. So when you see countries spending money to protect their like we call a sovereign nation that does not have a border, a territory, you are not a sovereign nation yet. What makes a country to call a state? Population, your territory, a government, and the people. So if your territory now is not secure, then what are you? Are you a secure country? The answer is no. Your enemy can strike you at any time, even when you are asleep. Well, we don't even need too much manpower to be there. Just set your drones there. Any passerby, you take them out. This is Nigeria.
But are we really embracing that technology? That's where the question.
We are not. That's what I said in my first statement. I said we are not ready for this fight against terrorists yet. If we are ready, the body language will tell you the investment into this, into getting technological know-how will be there. But
in the last decade, our highest budget has always gone into defense.
Michael, you and I know that Nigerian budget does not reflect in the economy. They tell you now that Nigerians are even living. People was saying the other day that Nigerians are living more happier now than before, that they are enjoying. Because he sits there in the red chamber and enjoy lavish.
Okay, let's leave the red chamber and leave what he said, but return back to the issue of insecurity and what needs to be done.
Our borders are porous. You can't, like, I give you a simple example. You build a house, you have a little fleet of cars, your kids, everybody, your wife, everybody is there, and your gate is open. What happened?
Okay, now what will happen now is us now looking at the issue of foreign assistance.
Good.
Just within the week, former President Olusegun Obasanjo came out to say it does not really mean for us to get help from the Western world.
Absolutely.
It does not mean anything that we should get. But the presidency also responded in saying that most of the insurgency all started during his regime and more of a fire back. And we also do know that there are some persons that are not comfortable with us seeking or having foreign intervention in the country on account of sovereignty you talked about. But my next question, yes, General Musa retired yesterday, said he'll be working closely with the international partners in bringing security back to us. The National Security Advisor, Nuru Rubadu, said the day before yesterday that they have had great interactions from the United Kingdom, France, and the United States in wanting to help out. My next question is, should foreign assistance be the best way to go?
Like, you are telling someone that is stealing. You tell the person that this, you use this antidote, it will cure. The person will tell you, give me, he will use it. Because he wants to stop the stealing by what means possible. Nigeria, we are bleeding. We have exhausted all our artilleries. We need help. Yes, we need help. And what help do we need? Let them come and assist us. Let the US come and help us.
But some will say at what cost? Just yesterday, there was a signing of peace between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda to end the decade-long war of hostility between them, especially with the belief that the M23 rebels are being sponsored by the Rwanda government. Yes. But also at the sideline of that very peace agreement was American coming to mine rare earth metals in Democratic Republic of Congo. Hence the need for peace to remain there. So many Nigerians are saying, will the peace not come with a price?
My career, we have 4 refineries. They are not working. If we give America 2 and they secure our land for us, you see, every international politics, every player has an interest at that. Americans will come, definitely. They have investment in Nigeria. They have Americans also working here in Nigeria. So they know Nigeria is a very vast economy, a growing economy, that they also need their products to come in. Bilateral trade and all of that. Yeah. So they know if Nigeria is safe, you have more Americans come here to do business with ease. And you know, Nigerians also, we have more of our persons also in diaspora, in America as well. So let's leave the issue of what they want to take. He who is down, fear no fall. We are already down. Help us. Just as someone says you are in the well, you are drowning, somebody is coming to give you a rope. And say, if I give you this rope, you come outside, will you give me all the money you can? You say no, and you are drowning. You will say yes, you take everything, let me have life. It's only when people are alive that the country can go forward. Mind you, the way it's going on, people will need to self-help. And what happens, it will become worse because their government will fight the external aggressors, fight also internal aggressors. Because the way the country is going now, when multiple killings are concluded, people will not need to self-help. Government cannot protect me, let me protect myself. And when that happens, it becomes a
more
disaster.
anarchy.
So what do? Americans gone. Let's go to attention. What if for this help you're going to render us now? What is the plan? You discuss with them. You see, it is because our minds are polluted. The way our politicians steal. That's why most of them are thinking Americans will just come and take everything. No. They have interest. Absolutely. The president of America will not money that invested. America, they are the highest investor in terms of their defense and military armament in the world. So they will not come and give you their drones for free and all of that. Something must go back in return. They must have a discourse. But what do we need now? Do we need the help? The answer is yes. Is Nigeria bleeding? The answer is yes. Is affirmations failing? The answer is yes. Today you sack services, tomorrow you bring it's even worse than where we're coming from. You remember that this same US government told Obasanjo at that time in 1999 that there were people in Borno, in Samisa, that started to be terrorists. Obasanjo said no, they are minors. They saw those people at that time. But when you give Nigerian intelligence, we want to act as if we know too much and we know nothing. The US government at that time, they called the Nigerian government that they are seeing some persons training at the Sambisa forest area. They said, no, they are miners, that they are not terrorists. They said, no, they are terrorists, they are moving small arms. And now the small snake you're visiting has going to an anaconda. And today now, even the FCT is no longer safe for them.
Okay, anyway, it will be safe for us to say, what's your final submission, especially as it concerns the coming of the new defense minister? What are your expectations? Or Nigerians' expectations, rather?
You see, my perspective with the president is this. If you cannot do it, honorably resign. We've seen Boris Johnson, the other president, they resign when they could no longer. Nigeria, I don't know, what's going to collapse there. If you cannot do it, call a press briefing. I have done the best of what I know how to do, security-wise, economic-wise, but since it's not working, I hereby step aside.
Now, let's leave stepping down, but looking at the way forward with the new defense minister.
The way forward with the new defense minister, I believe so much in him.
Okay.
I believe so much in him because I've read how he rose from the ranks. You know, where he came in, how the troops he has led and the mission he has gone for. And it seems to be very vast with the security architecture of the country. My own is, I'm just hoping those bourgeois, those religious bourgeois don't start, putting him under unnecessary pressure. You're no longer chief of defense staff, you're not a politician. So sometimes there are things where I come to your table, try and take it easy, call me first, and start influencing him. So if they will give him the free hand to work, because he reported directly to the president. Yeah. As the minister of he tells the president, okay, they report to him, he briefs the president on, sir, this. And the president take his advice and work with it. The answer is, what is best, your best is boost of mine. What do? Now, invest more in technology. Okay. This fight has gone from, you see, I've seen these terrorist guys. They move with drones. They have detectors that tell them how many miles people are approaching towards them. They are well coordinated, well trained, and they are well funded. So what do? Topple your hustle. Why most of our military guys resigning and go and join the terrorists? Whereby they are paying Nigerian Army 500,000, for example, the terrorists are paying you 2 million naira. So you might look at it. I've worked here 35 years. What do I even have to show? Nothing. Bandits telling me, okay, if I work here 5 years, they give me a house, they give me you go and work there. Moreover, the government are not bringing the fight to you. So you're having a free day. You kidnap, collect ransom, negotiate, and you go and rest. Nobody come after you. There's no CBN tracker in the ransom money that they are being paid, so the track people that spend the money and get all of them to book. No. The next thing, we are even giving amnesty, we are giving a clemency to terrorists. You saw them, they said they fed them with about 2.something billion now to feed the repentant Boko Haram. How do you classify that they've repented? And most of them now, they say they are repented, they come back also to their old colleagues. So it's a long way to freedom. It's a long walk.
Well, anyway, it's a long walk, but one that you feel that the new defense minister is up to the task.
Yes.
Well, anyway, we need to really go. Time is not a friend, especially when we're having such discussion, but it will be out of place if we do not really say thank you to the Senior Special Assistant to Governor Sheriff Boriwori on human rights issues. And we're talking about Comrade Kevin Ojomodo. Thank you for always honoring our visitation and coming to add your own insight as it concerns some major issues. We truly appreciate your time with us.
My pleasure always. Thank you for having me.
Well, anyway, it's more like a wrap for us today on the show, but I will always implore you to remember to drop your comments, especially as it concerns this lovely discussion. What are your expectations of the new defense minister? Let's have your views. Let's have what you feel he needs to do, what direction he has to take to ensure that he sticks with his promise and the vow he made just yesterday to Nigerians and also to Mr. President, that in no short time, definitely Nigerians will feel more secure than they have been in the last couple of months. But anyway, let's see how that plays out. But the Nigerians' expectations are nothing but peace and also progress as it concerns the most populous black nation on the planet. Like I said, drop your comments. Also remember to share, like, and also be a part of all we do on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. Always on your weekdays, Monday to Friday morning from the early hours of 8:30 to around 11. Let's see how I'll bring nothing but pleasure to you. But remember, like I said, the news will come around the hour, and most especially trending will trend later. But for me, Michael Gobadia, let's see how we'll do this later. Bye for now.
Behind closed doors, too many suffer in silence. Too many lives are scarred by violence in the very place that should bring peace, the home. Domestic violence is not love. It is pain. It breaks trust, destroys lives and families, and steals futures.
Domestic violence is not a private matter. It's a violation of dignity, and it must end. Because hitting a woman does not make her a man, but correcting her in love and staying in peace with her is God's plan. Together, we can raise our voices, protect the vulnerable, and rebuild lives. Say no to silence. Say no to fear. Say no to domestic violence. Powered by Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
As you know, you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined, and uniquely different.
I must say that I'm very delighted to be here this morning. As a teacher and lecturer, this is the best audience that I can ever have. So, you're welcome. Listen attentively. Keynote address presented by Dickness Florence Owerri-Awose, Senior Lecturer, College of Education, Warri, on the occasion of a one-day seminar for senior secondary school students on career choices organized by the Korake Foundation, Warri, on Friday, the 24th of October, 2025, at Brown Hill Coliseum. Protocols. Your Royal Majesties, the traditional rulers of Warri and its environs, esteemed leaders who stand as the unifying fathers of this great region, distinguished government functionaries and representatives, venerable chiefs, respected leaders, educators from around the state, school heads and principals, the Korake Foundation, and my brilliant visionary youths of the Warri region. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this special occasion. This seminar is primarily for the youths and secondary school students here present. Therefore, my use of the word youth throughout this address should be seen as all-encompassing. Introduction. We stand together today, October 24, 2025, united under the watchful eyes of our revered traditional institution. This gathering is rooted in wisdom and driven by the collective desire of the progressive Korake Foundation to reignite every Warri child to rise up and reclaim their place of glory. The theme of our seminar today, Beyond Limits, Unlocking the Potential of the Warri Child, is a powerful declaration that the potential of the Warri child is truly boundless. My definition of the Warri child in this paper is not confined only to children who are indigenes by birth, but to all who grew up in Warri, whether they are indigenes of Warri by heritage or by residence. This fact is buttressed by the claims of those who grew up here, but not necessarily indigenes of the geographical Warri, but see and identify themselves proudly as Warri boys and Warri girls, as the case may be. I am a good example of this definition. I can proudly say I was not born in Warri, but I came into Warri when I was 2. My parents came in here when I was 2. That makes me a true Warri girl. Even the audience before me right now may not necessarily be all Warri by birth, yet they are here today to identify with Warri. This speaks volumes about the reputation that Warri used to enjoy in the 1970s and 80s when it flourished as a vibrant and prosperous city, a status that inspired residents to proudly wear the toga, "I am a Warri boy" or Warri girl. But sadly, that collective exaltation has been severely eroded by the downturn of the city's socio-economic fortunes, occasioned by the absence of peace and vibrant economy. Warri and the cost of division, learning from history. As Chinua Achebe puts it, if a man does not remember where the rain began to beat him, he will not know where to dry his wet clothes. It is therefore pertinent that we confront the painful chapter of our history. About 25 years ago, internal fratricidal conflicts engulfed Warri and its environs. This division led to a devastating outcome: the loss of lives and properties, the destruction of infrastructure, and critically, the relocation of companies and servicing firms from Warri and its environs. This relocation stripped our region of its primary economic engine, leaving us with the joblessness and hardship we confront today. This history offers a profound and undeniable lesson that strife and division are the greatest threats to our collective prosperity. The foundation of our economic strength lies not in the oil beneath our land, but in the peace and unity among our people. We in Warri have paid the price for internal conflict. Today, our foremost priority for renewal is a permanent and non-negotiable commitment to the peaceful and shared identity of the Warri region. Peace and unity are essential for the growth and development of Warri. By embracing alternative dispute resolution methods, fostering a culture of tolerance and acceptance, and promoting inclusive governance, the region can overcome its challenges and unlock its full potentials. Reigniting hope, the new pillars of prosperity. Hope is not a promise of outside help. It is the plan we must execute ourselves. And I want every one of us to note that specifically. The hope that Warri will be great again lies in the action that we, if I'm permitted to say Wafarians, the actions that we take. Our destiny is not to wait for the oil companies to return, but to build a modern economy. An economy so vibrant that it will thrive regardless of external factors. Our focus must shift from the extraction economy, which is oil, to the intellectual and creative economy, which is professionalism, talent, and innovation. Hope can be a powerful catalyst for progress, but it is the actions that we, you sitting there, as youths, students, and collectively as indigents and residents of Warri, it is the actions that we take that will ultimately drive development and make Warri great again. According to His Royal Highness, the Olu of Warri, Ogiame Atuwashe III, hope drives societal progress and innovations, discoveries, and social change often emerge from the belief that a better world is possible. So I urge all Warri youth today to hope for a better tomorrow by being optimistic that a prosperous Warri is ahead of us. Can we say amen to that? It is this hope and belief for a better future that can motivate you to work towards a positive change. Changing the status quo in Warri, reclaiming our prosperity. Everybody say reclaiming our prosperity. Reclaiming our prosperity. To achieve the much needed change in Warri, all hands must be on deck to engineer innovative solutions, collaborate across sectors, and drive sustainable development that will benefit every youth, students, and the region at large. Beyond limits typically means exceeding the boundary or threshold that the Warri environment has imposed on the Warri child, like ethnic clashes and violent protests, kidnapping and armed robbery, pipeline vandalism, and
Good day and welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I'm Mike Egobadia. Here are our top stories. Federal government set December 20 deadline for contractors' payment. Governor Sheriff Oboriwori flags up Far Estate project in Orere, Uluba, advancing more agenda. Tinubu releases new ambassadorial list, includes Ibas and Dambazo. And also, federal government releases 185 billion naira for gas to power debt settlement. On the foreign scene, Trump, Rwanda, and Democratic Republic of Congo leaders sign peace deal amid ongoing violence. And talking sports, Super Eagles defender Tros Ekong retires from national team duty. Now to the news in full. The federal government has assured protesting road contractors that all verified outstanding payment will be cleared before December 20th. Minister of Works David Mahi gave the assurance while the government owes them up to about 4 trillion naira. insisting that the president directed that all validated debt be paid.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Alright, my name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Osh baby.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife Niger celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
As you know, you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Welcome back. The 16th Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, says the Kano Emirate Council will stop at nothing in the fight against drug abuse. The Emir made the comment while speaking as Royal Father of the Day at a 3-day stakeholder summit on drug abuse organized by said drug abuse is a direct attack on the dignity of society, warning that when a young person is lost to drugs, a lineage, a dream, and a future are destroyed. He noted that no single institution can win the battle alone, calling for collaboration among security agencies, community leaders, religious bodies, parents, and youth group. The Emir urged district, village, and ward heads, as well as imam and community leaders, to revive traditional values of discipline, mentorship, and communal responsibility values, he said once made drug abuse unthinkable in Kano communities. He also encouraged families and communities to provide pathways for rehabilitation and reintegration, saying every child saved is a future restored. Sanusi commended the Kano Reformative Center for hosting the summit, describing the initiative as essential to safeguarding the future of young people in the state. Away from that, in Delta State, the push for agricultural development under Governor Sheriff Obodiwori Moore agenda has received a major boost as the Warri South local government farm estate have been officially flagged off in Orere, Uluba. The Commissioner for Agricultural Development and National Resources, Barrister Ada Ariyaka, has commended the Executive Chairman of Warri South Local Government Area, Honorable Orishaweni Isaac, for aligning with the Governor's vision for expanded food production across the state. On Thursday, community leaders in the community warmly received the Commissioner, the Council Chairman, and other top officials during a visit to mark the official launch of the Warri South Local Government Farm Estate. The project takes off on a 20-acre of land generously donated by the Orere Uluba Community for Agricultural Development. Now, speaking at the event, Commissioner of Agriculture praised the community's foresight and support noting that the farm estate is a practical step towards reducing hunger, strengthening food security, and deepening the impact of the more agenda at the grassroots. Community representative expressed gratitude to the state government and offered special prayers for Governor Sheriff Oboriwori, acknowledging his continued commitment to rural development and agricultural empowerment. Notable leaders present at the ceremony included a whole lot, and indeed not just them, but also other government functionaries were also present at the occasion. The flag-off marks significant step in Warri South agricultural transformation, with expectations high for increased food production and community-driven development in the months ahead. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent a fresh list of non-career ambassadorial nominees to the Senate, featuring several high-profile names not included in the earlier batch. In the new list, the president nominated Ibak Ibas, the immediate power sole administrator of Rivers State and former chief of naval staff, as a non-career ambassador. Also nominated are former Senator Itag Iyang, former Imo State First Lady Chioma Ohahim, and the former Minister of Interior and Chief or ex-Chief of Armed Staff Abdurrahman Dambazo. Their names are notably absent from the first set of ambassadorial nominees released by the presidency. The nominations were contained in the letter read on the Senate floor by Senator Godswill Akpabio during Thursday's plenary. And the later, President Tinubu urged lawmakers to give the nominees urgent consideration to help the government fill critical diplomatic positions. Akpabio has referred the list to the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, directing the panel to complete the screening and report back within 1 week. This comes after the president earlier nominated former presidential aide Reno Omokri, ex-Aviation Minister Femi Famini Kayode, and immediate past INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu as ambassadors. The Senate is expected to begin screening of the latest nominees in the coming days. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's nomination of former INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu for an ambassadorial role, saying he would never have made such an appointment if he was the president. In a post on X, Atiku said the move raises serious concerns, arguing it could also be as morally in his view benefit from its outcome. President Tinubu's nomination of Yakubu is now before the National Assembly for consideration. We need to go on a break now, but when we come back, more news across Nigeria, as well as foreign business and sport news. Join us again.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined, uniquely different.
Of 185 billion naira to settle outstanding debt owed to natural gas suppliers, a move officials say will help ease liquidity challenges and improve electricity generation across the country. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, ECPO, announced the approval in a statement on Thursday. It said the National Economic Council, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, gave the go-ahead on Wednesday. According to ECPO, the long-standing debt have crippled cash flow for producers, slowed investment and reduced gas supply to power plants, worsening Nigerian electricity shortages. The payment will be made through a royalty offset agreement and is expected to restore confidence among both local and international suppliers. I described the move as a decisive step in revitalizing Nigerian gas sector and strengthening power generation in line with the Decade of Gas initiative, which targets unlocking more than 12 billion cubic feet of gas per day by 2030. Officials said the clearing areas will spur investment, boost production, and increase gas deliveries to power plants, ultimately raising electricity output for homes and businesses. The coordinating director of Decade of Gas Secretary, Ed Ekong, said that the decision signals the government's commitment to fixing structural gaps in gas to power chain. He added it could revive stalled project and rebuild investors' confidence. The approval comes months after gas producers halted supply to power plants over unpaid debt. The payment is now expected to improve gas availability and potentially lift natural grid output, which has hovered around 5,000 megawatts. And talking business, Nigerian stock market closed on a positive note on Thursday, adding about 97 billion naira in value and extending its bullish run for the third straight section. The market's capitalization rose by 0.10% to 92.725 trillion naira, while the all-share index has also gained 152 points to close at 145,476, pushing the year-to-date return to 41.34%. The rally was driven by strong buying interest in stocks such as UACN, Morrison, Ecobank, Transnational, WAPIC, and AXA Morid. Although despite the gains, market breadth was negative, with 28 losers compared to 23 gainers. Enocel, Interlinked, Enalex, and Transcorp hotels led the decliners, while UACL toppled gains chart with a full 10% rise. Trading activity slowed, with about 1.9 billion shares worth about 19.11 billion naira exchanged across more than 23,000 deals for the second day in a row. E-Transit recorded the highest volume and value, posting about 1.58 billion shares worth about 6.37 billion naira. On the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has hosted the leaders of Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo in Washington, while all three signed a peace deal aimed at ending decades of conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, even as fresh fighting continued on the ground. Trump praised the agreement, saying it would open the door for a new U.S. partnership on critical materials with both countries. But Rwanda President Paul Kagame and Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi were more cautious, acknowledging that violence by the M23 rebel group is still escalating in eastern Congo. Kagame warned that the peace process would face ups and downs, while Tshisekedi described the deal as only the beginning of a new part. Despite the signing ceremony, clashes continued on Thursday. Local officials reported renewed bombing and gunfire near Kamoyola and Kaziba in southern Kivu province, with fighter jets also striking rebel-held areas. Heavy explosions were heard near the Burumamo border post, prompting Rwandan police to temporarily close the crossing. The United States says the agreement is part of a broader push to stabilize the region and secure access to minerals vital for modern technologies, including electric vehicles. Still on the foreign scene, former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he feels perfectly safe in Nigeria, dismissing security concerns raised ahead of his visit to Owerri, the Imo State capital. Johnson made the remarks while delivering a keynote address at the Imo State Economic Summit 2025, hosted by Governor Hope Uzodinma. The former UK leader told the audience he read negative reports about security before his trip, but insisted his experience proved otherwise. Johnson also praised the governor's effort to provide 24 hours electricity in Imo State, predicting that the artificial intelligence will play a major role in achieving sustainable power. He highlighted the long-standing ties between Nigeria and United Kingdom, from trade to skilled professionals, and jokingly added that while the UK sends Nigeria former prime ministers, Nigeria sends the UK future prime minister like Kemi Badenoch. The event drew several high-profile guests, including Vice President Kashim Shettima, former United United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, Aliko Dangote, Finance Minister Wale Odun, and other governors. Johnson's comment come amid renewed national security concerns in Nigeria following recent mass adoption and increased global scrutiny. And talking sports, Nigerian's captain William Trent Ekong has announced his retirement from international football, bringing an end to a decade-long career with the Super Eagles. In an emotional message posted on Instagram on Thursday, Ekong said playing for Nigeria was the greatest privilege of his life. He added that although his journey on the part or pitch has ended, his support for the national team will continue. His announcement came shortly after football reporter Romano revealed the news online, noting that Ekong leaves the Super Eagles after 83 caps, 3 medals, and appearances in 5 major tournaments. The 31-year-old defender, who currently plays in Saudi Pro League, was born in Netherlands but chose to represent Nigeria's senior level, making his debut in 2015. Trust Ekong also holds a historic AFCON record, the highest goal tally by a defender in the competition history, scoring 5 times. His final appearance for Nigeria was in November against Gabon. Recently, he has been reduced, or rather has seen reduced playing time under head coach Eric Chelle, falling behind Benjamin Frederick in the defensive lineup. With Ekong's retirement, the Super Eagles lose one of their most experienced leaders as preparation continues for the AFCON in Morocco, where Nigeria is expected to name a final 29 or 28-man squad ahead of camp opening on December the 10th. Still talking sports, 7-time Olympia Olufunke says she honors and is ready to represent Nigeria and Africa on the International Olympic Committee Athletics Commission. This follows her nomination by IOC President Christy Coventry, making her the first Nigerian to join the influential body. She is also one of 5 new members appointed to complete the commission ahead of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. The IOC announced the appointment on Thursday, naming Saraya Haji of Iran, Hussein Ali Riza of Saudi Arabia, Sheikh Saleh Sisi of Cote d'Ivoire, and Marina Pajov of Colombia as fellow inductees. Coventry described the Athletes Commission as essential in ensuring athletes remain at the center of the Olympic movement and praised the new members for the experience they bring. Also, Olufunke, one of Africa's most decorated table tennis players, competed in 7 consecutive Olympic Games from Atlanta 96 to Tokyo 2020, where she currently serves as Nigerian National Olympic Committee Athletics Commission, as well as Nigerian Table Tennis Athletic Commission. Reacting to her appointment, she said the recognition shows her efforts have not gone unnoticed and expressed excitement about contributing more to the sport that shaped her life. Her fellow African appointee, Olympic gold medalist Sheikh Salem Sisi, will also join the body, which now houses 23 members representing all continents and a wide range of sports. Chair of the commission, Emma Tuha, welcomed the new adoptees, adding their device, or rather, experience background will strengthen advocacy for athletes around the world. The IOC Athletics Commission plays a key role in ensuring athletes' voices are heard at the highest level of Olympic deciding making. With that comes the end of the news, but I'll always implore you that if you have any newsworthy reports, we'll do well to send it to our different social media platforms. I'll be more than happy to take it. I still remain Michael Gobadia. Bye for now.
When the lights go out, who do you call? Tikado! Tikado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Tikado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Tikado today here at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace.
The future of the worried child is bold, bright, and limitless. Gone are those days where being from worry means that you are underestimated or being put in a box. Today, the worried child is breaking boundaries in education, innovation, and all things that they set their minds to. We are gathered right here live at the Brown Hill Coliseum in Warri, Delta State for the future of the worried child, a one-day seminar put together for secondary school students in Warri, Delta State, and its aim is to reshape and of course to remind these children that their dreams are valid and they can be anything that they want to be. We will be reshaping destinies and of course putting in the minds of these children that yes, greatness lies within them. The theme for this year is a very powerful one: beyond limits, unlocking the potential of the worried child. Now, this is not just another seminar, this is a movement, one that brings to the knowledge that every child has greatness inside of them. My name is NK and I'll be holding it down right here on the red carpet for Atlantic Media and TV, where we'll be having our special guests and of course we'll be having conversations with our speakers, distinguished guests, and of course our students who are here and ready to learn, to get inspired, and of course to go home with so much enlightenment. Join me on the red carpet as I interview great men and women who will be coming here today to experience this great history in the making.
The future of the worried child is in your mouth. And as long as they can't steal your voice, they cannot steal your future. God bless you all. God bless Ogiame Atuashe III. God bless the children of this great land. God bless Nigeria.
Child can do anything possible because we believe first God made them, and if God made them, God actually made them without limit. So we are trying to sell that dream back to them, no matter what they've been taught, no matter what they've been told, that the worried child is going beyond limit.
To unlock children's potential, it starts with you as the parent.
What we are here to do is to also put them in the direction of, as you are working, also get yourself checked.
Going beyond the limits, beyond unlocking your potential, owning your place, owning your story, finding the obstacles, identifying them, leaning into the lessons that life throws at you. So generally speaking, it's all about owning yourself and looking around you to solve problems. When you are a problem solver, you will always have value.
I'm a product of worry, so today I am that future standing here, and for that reason I have no doubt the people that will come after us will do greater things.
I feel so amazed by everything that has been going on today. I am truly touched and I'm truly enlightened today.
I feel very nervous coming here, but meeting new people and seeing that, oh, like there are lots of opportunities. Thank you most for the opportunity that have given to us, the future of the worry child.
Future of the worry child is me, thanks to the Corona Care Foundation.
Welcome back. If you are just joining, it's Trending O'Clock. You know how we're doing right here on Trending. We'll talk about all the trending and juicy gist on the internet and of course give our opinions about them. I am Mercy Irabo, and you know, once it's trending, I can never be alone. Who is joining us today? Mr. Michael Gupadia. Mr. Michael, thank you for always joining me on Trending.
A Friday edition of Trending is always
special.
Loaded.
Exactly. All right, without wasting much time, let's just see our top story for today. There's this story I've been following closely. I've been trying to watch it closely about a Federal Safety Corps officer that was killed. She was murdered alongside her daughter. And then more updates on that very issue. The boyfriend of the late FRSC officer Lasisi Fumilayo, alongside some herbalists, has confessed to luring her and her daughter Shewa to their deaths in Osun State. According to investigators, the suspect, Victor Fajemirokun, revealed that he brought the victim from Ogun State to Ijebu-Jesha after a Muslim cleric allegedly told him that Fumilayo had spiritually manipulated him and taken his glory. Driven by this belief, he allegedly conspired with a herbalist who then carried out the brutal act. The suspects are now in police custody as full details of this incident continue to unfold. And for me, I think some of these spiritualists, they are doing way too much. And then even you that they are giving this information to, how do you take it? Imagine somebody coming to you to tell you that somebody is using your glory, your supposed girlfriend is using your glory, and then you just want to get rid of her. Is that how things work? Even if somebody is using your glory, why don't you just wait for the person to fix it? Instead of going all the way to kill the person, then what happens to the glory?
Well, it's a lie.
It's funny.
It's just an afterthought.
Yeah.
He just wants to give a reason for going through that very act he committed. We do know he used her for ritual, and he just like wanting to pin everything on the herbalist. The herbalist never invited her over, he did. And with the reports we do have, we know it was for ritual purpose, but the daughter saw all that transpired, or was also noticed all that transpired. That's why they had to also take her life. It's a sad reality of betrayal in the highest order. But it also reflects that sometimes if, and I insist, if we have a partner, whether he's here or abroad, we should stick to that person in all totality. We do know that the lady is married, her husband is overseas, and the said man that killed her was just a friend, or rather someone she was dating here in Nigeria. And at the end, sad story came out of all of that. It's really a depressing one, a sad one.
Another soul gone because of infidelity. Imagine if she had just sticked with her partner. I'm sure she would still be alive at this moment. It's just so sad that even her daughter had to be part of it. It's a very sad and breaking news. Anyways, we know more details will unfold for this very story, and once they do, I'll bring more updates. Yes, talking about updates, there's a quick update on the story that got viral lately. We talked about the story yesterday of a man that was picked up by DSS officers and labeled a terrorist due to a change of SIM card. And you know, the SIM card was previously registered by someone that was linked to a terrorism investigation. But because of that, her father, the lady that cried out yesterday, her father was picked up. But now the update is the man has been released. Glory to God. Let's see the footage.
Good morning, everyone. So concerning the issue I posted yesterday about my dad being arrested by DSS in Iyekiti, so it was released yesterday night, and this is me showing appreciation to everybody that reached out, that supported, and that showed concern. Like, I really appreciate and enjoy it. Wow, Nigeria no go happen to also ni burukusha, but Nigeria really lo mashele se gbogbo. So this message now is for the network providers. Please, you all need to really do better. Like, you need to do better, because I see no reason why someone else will be using a particular SIM, a particular line for WhatsApp. Another person will be using line for call. And why will I buy a new SIM and still be receiving debit alert of the person that used the SIM previously? You guys need to really do better. I beg. You need to do better, because
well, authorities reviewed the case and confirmed they had absolutely no connection to the former owner of the SIM and no criminal activity. So it was a case of a reassigned number triggering this act. Yes, you heard her. The network providers really need to do better, especially one particular company, which I am not going to call out. They need to do better, because how is somebody supposed to get a SIM card and maybe misplace it? Just within a space of 1 week, you are reassigning that very number to somebody else. She was talking about you're using a number and you're getting a debit alert from somebody else. It happens. I remember getting loan reminders and all of that for a SIM card that I got newly. I just kept on getting messages talking about the repayment of loan, and I was wondering what's going on, and how I was continuously receiving calls from somebody saying, it's my daughter, I want to speak with my daughter. And I kept on saying, I just got this SIM newly. I don't know why it's like that, but they really need to do better. They need to do better, Mr. Michael.
Well, yes, they do need to do better. But before I talk about that, I first want to really say, if the Nigerian security agencies do their job well, we need to commend them.
Yes.
I'm happy they investigated and found out that that man was not culpable in any way, only unfortunate that he got that SIM card and was using it, but the card that reflected atrocity as a concerned crime being committed earlier. Well, just like you said, network providers should do better. They should also ensure that a card, rather a number that has been closed, should remain like that. So, you know, for me, it's just reassigning numbers that really ended with us having these very unfortunate incidents. You know, if numbers that have been flagged as being scrupulous or have committed crime, those numbers should be barred for life, so nobody falls victim of circumstances, especially as it happened with that very man in Ekiti State. Please, network providers, do more. If there's any way you can also help erase the former use of that very one, if it is also transparent, please do so, that more Nigerians will not get this kind of unnecessary embarrassment.
But I see no reason why they should reassign numbers.
Well,
that's what
they
feel.
do.
I don't know if you've gotten any SIM lately.
No, honestly,
okay.
the two numbers
You know,
I have
nowadays,
have been for decades.
what they do is Normally, when you want to get a SIM card, you check the SIM pack. You want to see the number that is very simple, right? That's how we do it back then. But recently, I got a SIM card, and then you just go through it, no numbers written. No. So once they register it, they automatically send the number that is reassigning numbers to people. And it's wrong. It's totally wrong. I feel it's something that they really need to work on. We're calling out on all network providers. They really need to do better. All of this reassigning, I think there's a better way around it. Numbers can never get finished. Yes. You can never get finished. There's a way you just keep doing these things. You don't have to keep reassigning numbers, so we don't have cases like this. We're happy that the man is finally home and he has reunited with his family. We're so happy, and all thanks to the authorities, all thanks to the DSS for their timely investigations and vindication of the man. So away from that, let's talk about this hot take that is shaking social media. And this is coming from social critic Speed Darlington. He has stirred up another round of conversations with his latest statement. According to him, any man who keeps asking a woman what she brings to the table should also expect her to have equal rights in the family, because she can't be contributing that much and still be submissive. I am not the one saying, because I know Mr. Michael is looking at me right now like, okay, but I'm not the one saying it. Let's hear from the horse's mouth.
All the people that been asking what did she bring to the table in the last 2, 3, 4 years on social media, that's all I've been hearing. What you bring to the table, what she brings to the table. And I don't reason now. If you want to make person bring something to the table, help pay bills, and so on and so forth, that person now has equal rights, equal say in the union.
Well, you know, this will always raise reactions from people. Even my co-host right now is making it look like, why is he saying this? Why is this coming from a man? Thank God I'm not the one saying it. It's coming from a man. I know he wants to argue. I know he wants to say, because when it comes to gender clash like this, he wants to talk about it. Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, the first thing I need to say, please, Spidality, sing a song. We used to know you were a music artist. Is it that you've lost your talent, that you're now looking at everything to trend? The other day you said you carried the teenager, you did something to her, Natip came calling at you, you later said it was a publicity stunt. The other time you tried fighting Portable, you were beating Black and Blue. Now you are coming again to embarrass yourself. Please release the song. But if you know you've lost your talent, no problem. There's business for you to do. But talking about that...
Is it that you're trying to advise him, or it's because of the comments?
No. It's an opportunity to talk to my fellow Darlington.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we really love you speedily. So please speedily get another talent and release something.
Okay.
But talking about bringing something to the table, yes, the honest truth is, you always ask, what are you bringing on board? What are you bringing to the table? Many men seem to ask, but you know, it depends on how you reason it. Many men is not what you bring on the table, as in what's your financial contribution. We've seen many men rise to eminence on account of their wife being supportive in advice, in direction, and in prayers. And that's what real men will ask a woman to bring on board, not her financial assistance. She should bring her ideas, bring the moral support, bring the spiritual support, and that's what men look for in what you bring to the table. But you know, some marriages are just so empty. It's one-sided. He brings the prayers, he brings the money, he brings the well-being, he brings this. Also, when it comes to the woman, she does everything. No, marriage should not be like that. If you cannot contribute something that is financially in stand, do otherwise. That's my belief.
You know, when it comes to topics like this, I really want to talk, yeah? Because when it comes to bringing something to the table, I used to say it, and I'm still saying it right now. You don't come to a woman to ask her, what do you bring to the table? I don't think real men will ever ask that kind of question. Like, what do you bring to the table?
Why is this
and that's
so
why it's very
women?
quick for some girls to respond like, I am the table. Because why are you asking me what do I bring? Only lazy men, I feel only lazy men will ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? Because they're looking for women to split bills with them. They're looking for all of these things. And that's why they're always quick to ask, what do you bring to the table? Why don't you just see what she's really bringing to the table? Why are you asking? Because you want to run. You want to know if she'll be able to take some of your responsibilities, of which it is totally wrong. Biblically, the man is supposed to be taking up all of those responsibilities. If the woman wants to do it, it's because she just wants to be supportive. As the Bible made the woman the helpmeet, not the helpmate. That's why I try to correct people when they talk about women being the helpmates. No, it's not a helpmate. And that's why men are saying it's like we're supposed to split bills, we're supposed to do all of these things. No, the woman is supposed to be helpmeet. That is, she's supposed to be supportive. And that is if she wants
in a
to.
way. Okay, if she doesn't want to, she doesn't need to.
You need to support a good man. If you don't have a good man, why should you be supportive?
And then why should you take his name?
Why should you be supportive?
Why should you
Well,
take his
some
name?
men, maybe when they got married, the man was all over her and all of that. And then, you know, after...
Okay, his name is important, but you don't have to bring anything
after
on the
several
table.
years of the marriage, you know men, they start doing things.
And as
Imagine
women
coming
also.
home to tell your woman, I don't have money, and then she's making the food with her own money for the kids and even for you. Meanwhile, you're going
Is it
out
out of place?
to spend...
Is it out of place for a woman to also contribute to the well-being of her child?
It's not out of place, but it
You
is
know,
the sole
this mentality
responsibility
is
of
the
the
reason
man.
why the life expectancy of Nigerian men is the lowest in the
There
world.
we go again.
It's only 54 years. Go check it out. The life expectancy of a Nigerian man is 54 years. We have the lowest in the world. Men in Nigeria die on time because the women feel they need not to do anything to support. If they wish,
if they
can.
wish, if you
then
have
the life
a good man,
expectancy
it
of a
happens
woman
naturally.
in Nigeria is 68 years. That means they live 14 more years after us.
That's not
That's
long
why
life.
you see more landlady than landlord. Okay, let them not be supportive.
That's not a long life. So it means they will still be stressed at the end of the day.
No, they are
the
not
man
stressed.
is
That's
stressed,
why they are living
the
long.
woman is stressed.
No,
so
the
you
men are
see,
more stressed.
situations like this, the men, like I said, are the sole, they have that responsibility of taking good care of the family.
And they should die on it.
If the woman feels like, oh, my husband is a good man, it happens naturally. You don't need to force it.
She
It happens. That's because the man is a good man.
Okay,
You don't
so
support
if she wakes
a
up
man
on
that
the wrong
is
side
not-
of the bed and do not feel like that because both of them quarreled yesterday or he did not perform well in the night, she feels.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not in for this argument today. Okay, so away from that, let's quickly rush the story. Senator Ned Nwoko is publicly celebrating his fifth wife, Leila, praising her quiet strength and maturity despite ongoing family tensions. According to him, she has been a constant source of stability and peace in his life. He describes Leila as a woman who stays away from online drama and puts her family first. Ned and Leila, married since 2011 and blessed with 4 children, recently reconciled after their 2021 separation. Ned Nwoko says Leila remains a good woman and he appreciates her grace through it all. What I'm saying right now is if they could separate and come back, I think there's still hope for our sister.
Well, anyway, it depends if she's not a media person, not always in the faces of social media. That will help.
But the thing is, you have this woman, this good woman, like you came out to praise her.
Here we go
and
again.
then
Women
what made
are
you to
advocacy.
go out to get another woman? Now that the one you went out for is now giving you this bass and blows, and then you remember you have one good woman in the house. Why are men like this?
Well, anyways, if you eat melon soup, you appreciate Ogbono.
So now finally he knows he has a good woman, Ned Nwoko. Anyways, we'll still have all of the tension if you're coming out to praise her, in as much as I know I've been seeing some bass and blows from her and Regina Daniels, and you're coming to praise her for all of her maturity and all of that. I think you're trying to throw some shades, but you won't hear that from me. Anyways, away from that, let's quickly take this very story. I saw this story, yes, from a Nigerian lady. She stirred major reactions online after declaring that her partner's English speaking, typing, and even accent is a deal breaker for her. According to her, she has spent years improving herself, so her ideal partner must sound smart too. Her comment has sparked a heated debate. Is good English really a valid standard for choosing a partner, or is she being unrealistic? Well, social media divided, and the conversation is getting louder at this point. You can see speaking, typing, accent, it really matters. You're either my match or better than me. I spent years reading, getting better, and improving my English. Please be smart, sound smart too. I am sapiosexual, and this aspect is very essential, even if you are an odogu. Interesting, but you trust netizens? Yes, they always have things to say, and then we got lots of reactions. Let's see some reactions we got on net. When you don't cross 35, all this one no go matter to you again. Interesting. Odogu don't need all of this, my dear. Odogu, they show walking and doing, not speaking English. If you want someone to speak English with, go get a teacher or a banker. No one at all. But when she is rejected by a man who considers her English speaking and typing to be inferior and not sufficient enough for him, she should not come and be shouting misogynist here. Interesting comments. She never ready. Yes, it does. The way you speak and type matters a lot. Everything she wrote made sense until she mentioned Odogu. My dear, Odogu sacrificed education for money. 60 billion and billion is the same across all the banks in the world. She don't even sound sapiosexual. Everything she said is facts, Sha. All these things matters. I am sapiosexual, and it means a lot to me. Yes, even to me, it means a whole lot. It means a whole lot to me. Because on the norms, Mr. Michael, you know, when men say they have specs and all of that, I don't know why it's wrong when a woman comes out to talk about her spec. Okay. This time around, she's not talking about money. She's not saying you need to be loaded.
But
I
didn't get it well. Is she saying she's dating someone that is not measuring up to her as a concern?
No, she says the way you speak, your accent,
but it's not like
the way you type,
she already has a guy
all of that
is not mentioned.
I don't know. She didn't mention
because with
that.
that statement, we do know she made mention of the guy is not living up to what she wants, especially as it concerns speaking well and typing well. If she has spent so many years choosing to read, choosing to speak well, choosing to improve herself, why has she not also spent that number of years in trying to select well?
Let me tell you something. I feel it's not wrong for her to feel she needs to be with somebody that is her match or better than her. Because I remember, was it 2 years ago, there's this common sound. I'm still trying to remember the sound that we get on social media that people use for most of these comedy skits. It happened when one woman, or rather, was it the husband that charged her to this justice court, and they were talking about the case and all of that. And one thing I grabbed from that court case was the fact that the woman is schooled, but the man is not.
Good. So why did she go for him?
I don't know. She's schooled, the man is not, and then that is the genesis of the problem.
Is it. If you are so schooled and yet you have poor choosing value, you end up having that. So you're only going for your match. So it's not when you go for somebody that you feel is lesser than, and you want to compel them to improve themselves up to your standard. That does not work in a relationship or a marriage. Settle for somebody that you know. Two things I know women will love. Either you are my level or above me. Don't take somebody below and expect to take him to the top. You're doing yourself. Okay. So those years that you've chosen in reading, writing well, speaking phonetic, use that same period to improve your knowledge of a man you need rather than choosing less. Okay,
so what if a man is trying to maybe ask her out and then she says, no, I don't really like you because you don't speak well. Do you think men will be able to just accept that?
She has all right.
They'll feel like, why would you say you don't want to accept him because of the way he speaks?
What she wants. It's her life.
Okay, I think this is the first time Mr. Michael is supporting,
it's just common sense.
Is supporting us, yeah, because I was expecting him to say English will not put food on your table and all of that. I was really expecting that.
Your piece of heart puts food on your table.
Thank you for that contribution.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that contribution. Anyways, we've come to the end of today's edition of Trending, and it's been an amazing time. I know you enjoyed it. It's Friday edition. Thank God it's Friday. You know how we're always excited about Friday. So tell me, what would you be doing this weekend? You know, you can engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. This is where I have to tell you, I will see you for another great and super edition, same time next week. I remain Mercy Irabo. Do have a blessed weekend.
Well, anyway, I'm still Mike Egobadia. The blessed weekend is what we're wishing you. And let's see how you can come back more refreshed and reformed come next week, because that's what we'll be doing, getting all those juicy gist, political, social, and all, just to bring to your doorstep. And all of that is what we'll be preparing throughout the weekend to bring to you come on Monday. But God willing, we'll see come on Monday. Bye for now.